It just hasn't yet. Sure, your computer's a little slow. There you go. You're live.
Hey, we're live now. Hey.
All right. So the other day we did a live broadcast of my channel, so I thought I'd go over and check out Gly's channel, and I'm here in Yak with some of his customers.
Yeah, the first live broadcast on Abandoned and Forgotten Places. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
So I'm Frank from Exploring Abandoned Mines. You probably haven't seen me, well, maybe you haven't seen me on here. So the reason we're kind of doing this is Gly's put together a really neat series of 4 videos that he did all the editing stuff we did together, and he's spent about 70 hours producing all this. So it's some of the best stuff that we've seen on YouTube. So if you like exploring abandoned mines and watch a little bit of quality entertainment, check it out. Start tomorrow on my channel. Episode 1 will be on my channel, then episode 2 will be on his channel, half hour there.
Yep.
And then the next Saturday, then there'll be 2 more. So hello there, hi Ace. Good day, guys. Yeah, we're having a nice day here in Arizona. T-shirt weather here is per usual by lunchtime here. So
it's been really nice around here. Yes, it has. Beats all that snow you have up north, Frank. That's for sure.
What we've usually been doing is our routine is we'll go and explore a bunch of mines one day, and then we just take a day off and do some editing and stuff and get our batteries recharged and all that kind of stuff. And and then hit her again the next day. So we got lots of time to explore mines. So cool thing about Gly's channel, he has now got so many subscribers. On mine, when you do a live broadcast, you got about 50 people asking the same question at the same time. But so we've got a couple people coming on here. So you guys, any questions you want to ask us about any of upcoming stuff about the mines?
Yep.
Hi, Chris. How you doing? Where you from, Chris?
Yeah. Where are you from, Chris?
We'll ask the questions. We can ask you questions.
Yeah, I don't have as many subscribers as Frank does, so people aren't going to pile on here quite like they do on your channel, Frank. But nevertheless, that's what I really wanted to do today, was get on here and let everybody know about the really cool collaboration coming up starting tomorrow morning between Frank and I. So once again, episode 1, or part 1 of the collaboration, will air tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Frank's channel. Then part 2 will air 15 minutes later on my channel. Then fast forward 1 week later, part 3 will air on Frank's channel at 6 a.m. Pacific, and then part 4 on my channel. So the best thing to do, guys, is make sure that you're subscribed to Frank's channel, so that at 6 a.m. Pacific, you get a notification and you can immediately start watching part 1, and then finish up with that one and jump over to my channel to watch part 2, etc.
So me and Glenn were kind of talking about this. It's not any huge advantage to us, particularly if you subscribe to our channel, but if you enjoy the live broadcast, what happens is we just do a live broadcast randomly whenever, and then if you're subscribed and you have the notifications on, so if you look at your subscription, there's a little bell, and you have to pick that. Then you get an email if we start a live show. So if you enjoy seeing these live shows and stuff, that's one advantage of being a subscriber.
That's right. Yep.
Louis says, hello, gentlemen. Keep up the good work. I don't know about the gentleman part, but
I don't know about
we'll keep up the good work, yeah.
Unfortunately, you guys only see a small portion of the antics that goes on in front of the camera. What goes on behind the camera is pretty damn funny too, but
we're actually a lot nicer than we seem on camera.
Yeah, we really are, guys. So what else we have here? Zach says, ever forget to wipe?
Is that an asshole comment?
I don't know. I guess
kick him off.
So between putting together these collaboration episodes, we've been doing a lot of other mines in the area for both of our channels, and we're also looking into 2 really, really big locations. We might be jumping into those real soon. I'm looking forward to get into them. We're talking about declines that go anywhere from 750 feet down to 1,500 feet, with drift levels at 100-foot increments down through those. So that's going to be really, really cool to see what's in there. We've been pretty busy, doing all this stuff.
So Gly, he likes the declines. The reason being is you don't have to use ropes to get into them. So
right. And there's a reason that I don't use the ropes yet, guys, and that's because I'm still in the process of losing a bunch of weight coming off of my my chemo sessions I had about a year or so ago. Just real quick, if you guys don't know, I got cancer a couple of years back and went through chemo and the whole 9 yards. And when you do that, you lose a whole bunch of weight, but eventually you rebound and you gain a bunch of weight. And so I'm still coming off of that, trying to lose about another 20 pounds. And once I do, that'll make it a heck of a lot easier to get on the ropes and start doing more of that type of stuff. But in the meantime, that's what I'm working on. That's why I don't do ropes right now.
Hey, Chris, you're stuttering. I heard you say the same thing 4 times. So, hillside, hillbilly, you're confused now. So, what are you confused about? Let's see if we can. Well, so we each have our own channel, right? So we're working together. So you'll see him on my channel and I'm on his channel. So it's not really. I don't think you should be that confused. But
yeah. So go to his channel and go to mine. We're both been working together, and you're going to see stuff from both of us.
I hope those barking spiders don't follow you here also. So the thing about barking spiders, I mean, usually when you're in mines, you're pretty, I don't know, you're working pretty hard and stuff, and you're moving around, and your digestive things start working maybe a little faster than normal. I don't know. It's that happens when you're in mines.
And I checked. Frank doesn't eat pickled eggs on bologna. So I don't know. Everybody's digestive tract works a little bit different, but
well, one real cool thing is my shit don't stink, so that helps a lot.
That's not true, Frank. I'm sorry. That's not true.
Good evening to Gly and Frank. Well, it depends on where you are, I guess. If you're across the pond, might be evening. Today it's noontime here, so
yeah. What is it?
Which is why we're not drinking beer. We're just drinking coffee. Right?
Coffee. Yeah. It's like what It's 1:30 Mountain Time here in the States right now.
We're not hearing you guys on here. Okay, so is you having problems with the voice? Is it not loud enough? Or there's not much you can do about it. It's on his computer, so it's got the camera and the screen on it. So.
Yeah.
Talk a little louder. Turn up your hearing aid. Maybe that'll help. Yeah. So the other thing is Gly. So he's you've seen his Jeep quite a bit. He uses on his show. So he's having a problem with his power steering. So he's putting a power steering box in. So we're using my side by side a little bit. So but now he's got it fixed back up, and we'll be using it a little bit more. I guess I'm not sure, but whatever works best. I guess we can.
Yeah. Sometimes the side by side works really good for getting into super rocky areas. That's been really nice, and there's a lot of that down here. But occasionally you're kind of out in the desert going long distances, and when we do stuff like that, it's a lot nicer to hop in old Bob. And like what we did yesterday, we put like 70, 80 miles on old Bob getting to another location, and that's kind of nice. But his side-by-side, let me tell you, it really gets into some nasty stuff, and it's a cool thing to have.
So Zach says, thank for acknowledging. What's your favorite beer? I think it's something the States here called, I don't know, something ice. I don't know what the hell it is. It's pretty good. I don't know.
What is that? Natural ice. That's what you
whatever.
drink.
It's like 5.9%. Got a little bit of alcohol. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but I'm not really that fussy. As long as it's got some alcohol and it's cold, I don't care.
I'll drink beer, but I'm really more of a whiskey kind of guy.
I got a bottle of Fireball here with some cinnamon in it, so I had a little bit of that yesterday. So.
That'll warm you right up.
So Chris says, "Good save on the turtle." Yeah, thanks. Anytime guys see some wildlife or something can help it out. You don't like to see things suffer, so
right.
We try not to be as destructive as we can. The one thing is, we film the bats and stuff quite a bit, and I don't know. I guess it's for a good reason. It's kind of interesting to see. We got some pretty good slow motion stuff, but from now on, we're trying to be maybe kind of stay away from them. Because. They're resting during the daytime or whatever, and we go through there and, they fly around, try to get away from us. So, kind of disturbs them a little bit, but,
Yeah, you don't want to disturb the hibernating bats.
I don't know if they're hibernating. I think maybe just resting during the day because we go up there and they're flying right away. I don't know. I don't think they're hibernating, but we've seen bats flying here in the evening. So I don't think they hibernate here, but I could be wrong, but they don't seem to be hibernating. But I know in Canada, if you, in the wintertime, they'll just sit there. Their heartbeat goes down in the wintertime to 1 beat a minute, and their body temperature drops way down. So it takes a long time to warm up enough so they can even fly. But they don't wake up very easily in Canada when they are hibernating when it's really cold. Here, as soon as you get near a bat, his eyes are open right away and just flies off right away like you're just sitting there. So it doesn't seem to me like you're hibernating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, Derek, was it here? Yeah, Derek Tatler says, "Nice cups. Mine just arrived." I'm glad it finally got to you, Derek, and I'm sorry that it took so long. But I got to the bottom of the problem. So, yeah, I really do appreciate you buying a coffee cup and supporting the show. Thank you so much.
James says, "Is there a reason why I can't hear you guys on here today?" I don't know. I think the other guys can hear us, so maybe
Yeah.
you're turn up your sound on your computer. So put your microphone over max. That's probably the problem. Oh, Chris Ackerley, Frank, forget the natural ice. The moonshine you got the other day.
No, Moosehead.
Moosehead you got the other day was pretty damn good. Yeah. We saw Moosehead. Moosehead's a Canadian beer, so it's seen on sale. So I bought a box of that for them guys to try out. They thought it was pretty good. So.
And if to all my subscribers, if you don't know who Chris Ackerley is, Chris helps us out a lot with finding locations of mines. He's our mine location specialist,
and he's also our official legal counsel too. So.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he gives us legal advice, but he's a lawyer. So.
Right. So hey, good to see you around here, Chris.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's see. Hey guys, so Derek McLennan says, "Hey guys, love both your channels and the work you're doing." Well, we like doing it too, Derek. We have a lot of fun out here doing this, and we like bringing it to you.
I think we're probably going to get in. We're doing more research and stuff. We've been to a lot of mines, and they're interesting because of the wildlife and different things, but they're not been that spectacular and that large. But I think in the future, you're going to be seeing a lot bigger mines with more levels and probably more rope work and stuff. So we'll be getting into more extensive stuff, which I haven't really seen too much so far.
Where did I just read that here? Oh, Mark P says, "I'll miss old Bob when his time comes. Here in Western Pennsylvania, we still have houses falling into old mines." Well, old Bob's going to be around for a while, guys. He's my buddy and my friend, and so no matter what breaks or falls apart, it'll always be replaced. And it's because of you guys and because of YouTube ads, etc., is what just bought old Bob a brand new steering gearbox. So I really appreciate that.
So where's the next adventure planned? So we got this four-part series that we just finished. It'll start tomorrow. So it's really cool because it's a pretty big mine. We do a bunch of rope work to get down into it. So we filmed some, got about 4 cameras going, and Guy's done a really good job editing it all. Like I got a helmet cam, and he's filmed me from the top and the bottom going down, and then there's a mine count. We think we're the first ones that's ever caught a mine count on video. So for you guys don't know what it is, it looks kind of like looks like a chihuahua with the tail of a raccoon.
Yeah,
I mean, they're real cute looking, got big bug eyes, and they live in mines and stuff. And miners used to keep them for pets years ago to go after the mice and stuff in mines. They're fairly friendly, but usually they just scoot away when you see them, and you just kind of see a flash their tail. And it's been a couple of times now that we've just been in a mine. We've trapped them where they couldn't get away, and they didn't attack us, nothing like that. But we got really close to them, like a couple of feet from them, and got some really good video of them. So as far as we know, there's nobody else has ever got any video of them. So you'll be seeing that tomorrow.
Chris Ackerley again says, "Check your email. Just sent you some more locations." I appreciate it, Chris. I'll take a look at that. I've been real busy this morning doing editing and stuff like that, but I'll look into it.
You ever find any bottles pre-1920? Some valuable, beautiful ones in that area. We're not real bottle experts. In my museum, I got lots of bottles, but I just keep the ones that are that got the writing on them. Whatever what do you call that? The writing's label in the bottle.
Oh,
there's a name for that. Whatever.
I can't think of it either. Either. But no, from time to time, we do find bottles. Most of them are broken, and you can get a date off the bottom of the bottle sometimes. But from time to time we do. Let's see. Chris Maynard, you have to go back and check to make sure it didn't lay any eggs in the pit. No, it did not. No, there was no eggs down in there from the turtle. It was just him and his mummified buddy, and that was it. I poked my flashlight down in that hole, and no, there was nothing like that.
And there's no way it could have got out of there. It was 10 feet straight down, and there was no tunnels, or there's no way out of there.
Yeah, it was just an unfortunate turtle that fell in a hole, and we happened to come along and save his life.
It was pitch black in there, so it was running along. They couldn't see, and then it just happened to fall. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
Embossed bottles. I guess that's the name we're looking for. Yeah, they look cool, because especially back then they had all kinds of elixirs and I don't know, any kind of a problem. You went to the drugstore and you could buy some kind of lotion or this and that. Mostly just had whiskey and stuff in them, I guess. A lot of snake oil sales, but not just selling mining claims. I guess selling drugs too.
Right.
It was kind of cool back then. You know, if anything, you just go to the drugstore and get anything. You could buy Coke or marijuana or anything you wanted. There was no laws or anything like that.
That's right. That's the way it used to be in the old days.
Stuff,
Yep. Let's see. The bar. Hey, Kim. Hey, now you be nice to us on here. So Kim says the Barking Spider crew is back. Oh, what else we have here? Dang, I didn't know that this was on until now. I'm sure glad I seen the icon pop up. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's how you do. What were you saying? How do you get notifications for the live shows, Frank?
If you look on this page or on any page and it says subscribe, you click on it and then it says notifications. You got three options: receive notifications, turn them off, or whatever. So if you turn notifications on, then there's two little explanation parts that come around the bell notifications, and then you get an email if whoever you subscribe to has a new a show coming out or a live broadcast like this, and then you'll get an email and says, "Oh, there's a live stream starting now." So that's how you get notifications for these live shows.
Okay. Shaycasters, that's from your buddy in Northwest Montana, USA. Okay.
It says everything was in beautiful glass bottles, no matter how worthless the contents were. That's kind of funny. We're kind of thinking about that. That's kind of like clickbait on YouTube, right? The fancier the bottle is and the color, it's fair enough. Maybe when you're buying something in the drugstore, something you see it's a real fancy bottle, you think, oh, that must be pretty good. It might be a subliminal or whatever. If it was just a plain bottle or something, you might think that. So.
Reuben Cockburn says, is air quality a concern in any of your expeditions into unknown mines?
Well, it depends on what kind of mines you go in and where you are. So that's in the coal mine, especially. That's a huge concern. So much so we wouldn't even go into a coal mine. So you can't say just because we don't have the oxygen monitor going off every day that there's no problem with it depends on where you are and what mines you're in. So it really depends on the circumstances.
We do our best to try not kick up a bunch of dust to breathe in. You can't really wear a mask because that messes up with the audio for filming a location. But I was in a uranium mine up in Nevada this last summer, and in a place like that, I did my best not to try to kick up a bunch of dust. But no, we do our best not to get too dusty in these mines, but sometimes it's just unavoidable.
Frank, I know you done some mine exploration in Washington State. Have you explored in Eastern Oregon? No, I've never been to Oregon. I just actually went from Washington straight south to Arizona through Utah.
Derek says, my wife collects minerals. I supply the labor, and she was wondering if the tailing piles would be good collecting locations, no caves for us. Yes. Check those tailing piles.
Well, no, because tailings are just ground up like flour,
well,
right?
But not all the time. You have your fine tails, which came off the end of the mill, and then you have your coarse tails, or your waste rock, which was cast off to the side.
Your waste rock would be a better place to look.
Your waste rock is where you want to look in the coarser waste rock piles, because there you can sometimes find really nice quartz specimens and things like
crystal
that.
Sometimes in there, yeah.
Yep.
Malachite, stuff like that. So azurite. So
that's where I found
galena. I've seen quite like galena.
Lots of galena, lots of silver sulfides. I found some nice stuff in coarse waste rock piles.
I was just up at the Vulture mine. There's a chunk of quartz, and the guy up there, he just broke it in half, and there was gold. There was a little gold seam in it. So, you get lucky. Sometimes you break stuff in half.
Hey, Steve Taylor. Hey, good to see you, man. I always chat with you all the time. I enjoy the comments in the comment section. And you too, Aaron Erickson. You and I have commented back and forth quite a bit too. And Aaron says, you've done a great job. You have taken me into places. Maybe I need glasses here. You have taken me into places like I used to explore in California Gold Rush area. Just too old to walk. Oh yeah, just too old to walk much anymore. Well, I had the same problem, Aaron, there for a while. For an entire year, I couldn't walk because of what the neuropathy did with me and my chemotherapy. And that's why I'm back out here now. That not only is exploring abandoned mines something that I really love to do, but it's really great therapy for my neuropathy.
So Chris asks about H2S in mine. So H2S is usually in the oil patch, eh? So it's an organic substance, whatever. So there's sulfur in oil. I guess you have natural gas. Sometimes it's got really high H2S, so they use it in that industry quite a bit. Those monitors. Having said that, there can be H2S in mines. It's not common, but what can happen is if they're in high concentration of sulfur, I take it what happens is the sulfur takes the oxygen, makes H2S.
Right.
So you got two problems. The H2S is definitely gas, but then it will also be low oxygen. So the only time I've ever run into it is like at a hot spring. Then you have some sulfur in the water and stuff. So I was in a mine one time. It was quite warm. The water was warm, and the oxygen monitors started going off, and you could kind of smell a little bit. So it was potential H2S there. So then we just left. But the thing is that when you're going into a mine, generally H2S is it's really, your nose is real sensitive to. You can smell just a couple parts per million.
Yep.
About 25 parts per million will take you out. So you should be able to smell it or whatever before you get into higher concentrations. But it's not common in mines, but it can happen. It depends on the formation.
Yeah, the formation he's talking about are either what are called high sulfur or low sulfur epithermal deposits, and like say up around Goldfield, Nevada, that's a high sulfurous epithermal, and a lot of those shafts in the Goldfield area go into that type of formation. And that's definitely those mines. When I was up there, that's why I got me an H2S monitor, because you get down into them and you start smelling those rotten eggs. You need to have something like that with you.
You ever got lost in a mine? You need a good sense of direction. No, there's nothing really you can do in a mine. Once you go in there, you just have a slight curve, and you may turn around in a circle and not even know what direction you're going. Just generally, every time you get to a branch, you just go to the right, and that works pretty good. And then you can kind of keep track of where you went. Lots of times we come out somewhere and we're on the other side of a mountain. We're looking which direction we face. We have no idea. You can get turned around so easily in a mine.
James Burke says, "Hey, Gly, how much dust does the barking spiders rise in mines there?" I guess it depends on how hard you push, Frank. I don't know. You can blow some dust up. I don't know.
We've got quite a few. There's like 53 people watching. That's pretty good. Your channel's done really good. When I first came in, you had 500 subscribers, and now you got almost 4,000. And yeah, your videos are doing good. You're doing a good job.
Yeah,
people seem to appreciate it. So that makes you feel good when
when
you're working hard and you get a little bit of recognition for it. So good job, buddy.
And I knew I reached out to Frank. I don't know, what was it, 8 months ago. I sent him an email, just kind of showed him what I was doing, and in the beginning he said, "Yeah, that's pretty darn cool, but your videos are too slow," and he left it at that. But a few more emails followed up after that, and I told him that this would be a really great place for him to come down and explore, because there's so much to do in the wintertime to get him out of that snow. And indeed, that's what we have down here. There's more mines, more abandoned mines than you can shake a stick at, and it's keeping us busy all winter long. But Frank here, he's a lot of fun to work with. Our friendship has definitely grown. We joke with each other, we tease with each other, we poke fun at each other. We have a lot of fun making these videos for you guys, and I'm sure some of that shows or will show in the coming episodes that you're going to watch.
Dr. Fan asks about nuggets in mines. I normally never see a nugget in mine because it's a placer thing. So nuggets are usually in gravels and stuff in creeks. And what it is, actually, it's the hydrological action of the creek that gathers the gold up in areas and makes a nugget. So you normally wouldn't see a nugget in a hard rock mine.
Chris is asking us, what is the most scared you've ever been in a mine?
Well, to be doing rope work. I mean, when you're going down a shaft just hundreds of feet down, it's pitch black, and you're going down, and it gets the heart going and stuff.
Well, for me, since I started this channel, I went down into a mine called the episode is called Poison Gas, and when I got down in the bottom, there was massive heaps of bat guano that were putting off a ton of ammonia gas. And the further that I got back in there, I did start to see little twinklies in the corners of my eyes, and that's a really bad thing. That's why I got out of there real quick. So that's about it. That one there spooked me just a little bit. Other than that, no, not really.
Let's see. A little bit off topic. Which plays a Stratocaster guitar. Well, maybe you can make us play us a song for the end credits.
James Burke says, "Hey, Gly, myself is, let's see, as far as the length of the video you make, it doesn't bother me if it's an hour long or better." Well, it's like anything that you do in life. You experiment with different styles, different techniques. When I started my channel, I was making hour-long videos, doing different things, like those funny intros and stuff like that. And basically, what you're doing is you're just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. You're seeing how your subscribers respond, what they like, what they don't like to see. And so, what I'm trying to do now, guys, is hone everything into a happy medium. So the videos have to have a good amount of some scenery, some artifacts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and bring it in at about 30 minutes. I think that's kind of the happy spot for videos, at least on the YouTube platform, anyways.
My philosophy on it is, most people like a kind of used to a half-hour television show, so so they'll watch a half hour. But the thing is, you really can't make everyone happy. It doesn't matter what you'll do. Some people will be bitching about it. So
yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of people that just really enjoy the geology. They love when I dig into it a little bit deeper, and that's great for some. But then other people, they get bored with that technical talk. So I've just kind of limiting myself to touch on the basics, whatever I see inside the mine, the stuff that's kind of sticking out, that's most obvious.
Yeah, it seems to be like a balance between a bunch of different interests. Try to get it right, I guess.
Right. Are you drinking spiked eggnog? Well,
no. Actually, I'm just drinking water.
I'll never tell.
This is all for show. These are just props.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here.
What are your plans now? What state? Well, we're right in the middle of Arizona, so it's a long bloody drive to go, everywhere you go. So, I mean, there's basically hundreds of mines within an hour's drive from here. So we're not going to drive for 10 hours to find a mine that maybe looks better than the ones that are close by.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch in this area, but what we try to do ourselves as well as with the help of Chris is narrow down all of these hundreds and hundreds of mines and prospects down to what we call filmable locations. Because maybe for every 100 mines in the area, only 10% of them or less are document worthy. The rest of them are just prospect pits and short little adits that go in, 50, 75, 100 feet. So that's what we try to do. We try to get in on the larger mines.
One cool thing about Arizona is a lot more the wildlife utilize the mines quite a bit because it's cool in there. So you see all kinds of bugs and snakes and mine cats, and the burros use them, the sheep, the goats, and everything. So it's kind of interesting that way. You see a lot more wildlife using the mines, and I think it's kind of really helped the wildlife population in the area having all these old mines.
Oh, so one thing I want to talk about real quick is, actually, before I talk about that, let me talk about this. So the reason that we're on here today is to tell you guys about the upcoming collaboration between Frank and I, and the episodes that are going to jump between his channel and my channel. So starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific, part 1 of our 4-part collaboration is going to air on Frank's channel at 6 a.m. Pacific. Then part 2 is going to air on my channel 15 minutes later. Then fast forward 1 week, part 3 will air on Frank's channel at 6 a.m. Pacific, and then part 4 on my channel.
So if you want to know how to get back and forth between our channels, if you're watching one channel, you just look in the description link and there'll be a link to the other channel. So
right.
If you're having trouble navigating that. The neatest feature or artifact you found, well, some of the mineralization is just stunning underground. You can see colors that you don't see on the surface, from blue to green to silverish galena. So the minerals are really stunning underground in some places. Stellatites, stalagmites, all that kind of stuff. As far as artifacts, I mean, I enjoy signs and stuff, old handmade signs about trains and different things that I found in mines, about the miners and different things like that. But also explosives, explosive boxes and stuff like that.
And yesterday we went down into a mine where the back of the mine had collapsed, and it had exposed what's called a manganese dome. And I don't think the miners even knew that it was there. They were tunneling down a decline shaft, and they were going in through these different layers of manganese. But after the miners left and over the course of time, the whole back of the mine caved away and exposed a dome of the stuff. That was pretty darn cool.
I like to explain why they mine the way they do it. Well, I notice a real difference from different regions. So it's just kind of seems they kind of have a style in a region that they use, and it's partially to do with the geology, but it's just people do different things in different places. There's no, I've never seen any trams here. And there's some steep country, and where I'm from, there's lots and lots of trams. So, yeah, they don't use trains underground here much, and I've seen that. So, I don't know. It's just whatever they used to. I guess they see what their neighbors are doing. It works for them, so they copy that and do it. People learn from each other. I think that's what the reason that the style is different in regions as much as anything else.
Derek McLennan says, I feel like anything under 15 minutes leaves me wanting more. I agree. Yeah, that would be a little bit too short for a mine video.
Just generally on YouTube, people have a short attention span, but our viewers are probably a little older. It's funny because Gly's average viewer is, I think, around 60 or something like that, or 55, 60. And mine's like 35. But so generally speaking, people have a short attention span. They watch something, they want to be entertained, or it goes on for too long. So that's part of the reason why, the length is what it is, because people just get bored and then go click on something else. So,
Aaron Erickson, you're asking me, give us Frank's channel again. So it's real easy to find, Aaron. Just click on the description area of any one of my most recent videos, and the link to Frank's channel will be in the description area.
Or you just Google Exploring Abandoned Mines.
Or that. Yeah.
And look for this guy. This is my logo here, see? That's my...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to find. If you type in Exploring Abandoned Mines, Frank's channel pops right up.
There is a similar channel. It's kind of an interesting story. There was a channel called Exploring Abandoned Mines, but they changed his name to Exploring Abandoned Mines in Unusual Places.
Right.
And his name's also Frank, but they just kind of go, they don't do anything very extensive. I'm not saying nothing bad about him, but so sometimes the people get confused between the two. So my channel used to be called Exploring Abandoned Mines in BC. So.
Have you ever, Michael says, have you ever found any rocks that glow? Have you?
We don't have a UV light. The fluorides and stuff. I was in a museum and I seen there was a display. They had UV lights, and the fluorides and stuff really glow under ultraviolet lights. But we don't have an ultraviolet light, so we've never tried that. It'd be kind of cool to try.
Shaycaster says, you guys do a killer job with your channels. This is real TV with a purpose. That network crud sucks. Thanks, boys. Well, we do appreciate that. I mean, yeah, we feel as though broadcast television or cable television is like on its way down, and this type of
we feel that is a fact.
Well,
yeah.
It is, yeah,
and
the world is changing, and platforms like YouTube are really the place to go now, and because anybody can just jump on here and select what they want to see. Instant gratification. There you go. If you want to see something about mines, you got us. If you want to see something about Barbie dolls, you got somebody else. So
you can even watch porn if you want. No, we're not spreading into other areas.
No.
No, that's the thing. The thing about YouTube, yeah, you watch whatever the hell you want. I mean, it's actually awesome. You can change the starter in your car or something you can't forget to do. You Google how to change the starter on a 2005 Dodge, and there's a video showing exactly how to do that. It's amazing, just an amazing resource, really. If you're curious about almost anything, it's pretty amazing.
I think you've got a better mustache for a porn star, right?
That's not what most people. That was what stands out in one of the forces.
Okay. God, let's see.
Under this stream, it'd be an honor to meet you guys. Yeah. Well, thanks, I guess.
Manuel Lopez says, do you guys keep the count? How many mines have you been?
Yeah, sometimes I go to 10 or 15 mines in a day, and there's just nothing, so what's a mine? Lots of times in a map or something, there'll be some claims or something, there's not even anything there, so, hundreds of thousands, I guess, probably, in their careers, yeah.
Yep. You may have to search a few before you find a good one that's worth documenting.
It's about cold beverage time out here now, yeah. It's always a good time for a cold beverage.
We're getting there. Right now, it's just coffee.
Should I get a hold of either of you for staking a claim? Well, we're not really in that business. It's a whole nother thing, actually.
Yeah, that's so. In case you guys don't know, I used to have a gold claim. I used to work a gold claim. Well, actually, I still have the claim. It's still in my family, but I worked a gold claim for 10 years. So, and that was long before Discovery Channel came out and did their things. So, I've already lived that life. I know what it's like to run a water truck or to run a backhoe all day long, dumping dirt into a trommel, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've done all that. So,
Looks real cool on Discovery. It's probably not as much fun as it looks like on TV. Huh?
and yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, if Discovery Channel didn't incorporate all of the drama and all the other stuff within that show, it's pretty darn boring. It's just all it is a gravel operation at the end of the day. So that's where I got more of my knowledge about gold mining. That was back in the '90s when I did all of
Well, they say the best way to make a small fortune gold mining is to start off with a large fortune.
that. Ain't that the truth? That is so the truth.
Have you ever run into a BLM agent out in the desert? We hardly ever run into anyone out in the desert.
Yeah, it's real rare. I came across some people yesterday. We were exploring the mine, and they were in the area. Just some older folks exploring the areas in their jeeps, and I made sure to meet up with them so that they wouldn't throw a rock down a shaft or something like that with Frank down in the mine. But real good folks. Yeah, I'd chat with them. They were nice folks from Minnesota.
Well, there's a comment from a drummer. He says, "I have a mine. She's at work."
More likely to run into game and fish. Well, not so much around here. Maybe.
There isn't really a lot of wildlife in the desert. It's pretty well dispersed. You'll meet in the mines. We're seeing probably more wildlife in the mines than we are out in the desert. Or remains. We've seen a lot of remains of dead stuff, snakes and sheep and goats and miners' cats and all kinds of stuff. So everything seems to get dragged into the mine and eaten by something.
Yep. Here's your quote, Frank, from Smiley Pete, Mark Twain. Yep. The definition of a mine is a hole in the ground with a liar standing next to it. That's the truth.
No, sir.
And we see that a lot of times because the roads going into these places.
A hole in the ground with a liar on top.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll find a mine on the map and head out towards it. And a lot of times we'll notice that the road to the location is really nice. They put a lot of work into filling up the washes and hand stacking all the rocks, and then you get to the mine and there's just a short little hole, and that was it. They spent more time on the road than they did in the mine.
Historically, they've spent a lot of money putting rail spurs and rail service into areas where they figured there was going to be a huge mining thing, and it turned out to be nothing. But they spent a lot of money with the rail service, and towns got built up and all that kind of thing. And there was really nothing there. So it always seems when a mine is first discovered, they can't imagine the ore is ever going to run out, and it's going to be big beyond their wildest dreams. But it usually ends up disappointing them.
Mark P says there seems to be very few trees around the mines. Did the miners deforest the areas, or did they have to import all of the wood? Down here in Arizona, they imported all of the wood. From what I was told, it comes from around the Prescott area. That's where they brought it in from. And then up there in Nevada, a lot of it came from the Sierra Nevada mountains via rail, usually.
Hello from Wales.
Yeah, hello.
We've heard of it. It's a long ways away. You guys keep saying, come check out our mines, but that's halfway around the globe. There's millions of mines between here and there.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff here that's going to keep us busy for a while. Although the slate mines over there are pretty darn cool.
I ran into Charlie up in Pinonka City just before they busted him. Charming fella.
Yeah, charming. Let's see. So Chris Farland, do you ever come across illegal miners operating covertly, or at least trying not to attract attention? I haven't.
We don't see any miners operating at all, really. Most everything's all. There's lots of stuff that's claimed, but nobody's doing anything. It's really hard to make any money mining. It's a lot tougher than almost any of you guys think. A lot of these mines are silver and copper mines. I mean, even if you had some good ore, I don't even know where you would take it to get it processed. I mean, nobody wants to fool around with a pickup loads full of copper ore. It's just not even pay the gas to take it there. So, it's a lot tougher than you guys think it is.
So being an old gold miner, here, the rule is silver has to be near $50 an ounce before it can become profitable, because it takes an extraordinary amount of time and effort and resources to try and extract silver from silver sulfides. And with gold, really, you don't want to mess around until the price is closer to $1,500, maybe $1,700 an ounce in that area. Anything less than that, and you're just barely covering your costs, with fuel and so on and so forth.
When are you going to braid your beard? Actually, I got asked that all the time when I was down in Central America, and I told them all the same thing. He says, well, I'm Canadian. He says, in Canada, it's only the women that braid their beards.
I was teasing Frank yesterday, and I told him I'm going to buy him a couple of those, those googly eyes, and stick 2 googly eyes in his beard.
Oh, it was a pain in the ass yesterday. So I was going down straight down the shaft. And I've had that a few times, like the beard gets stuck in there and then it gets wrapped up in there. That's a real pain in the ass to be strung up on a shaft or held by your beard. So I go like this, trying to stuff it in there, Yeah, I need to get some elastic bands or something, I guess. I should break that. That'll look gay though, I think.
Yeah. Smiley Pete says, Gly, have you been back in touch with the sheep guy? He was a character and seemed to know of a few minds. Yes, that's.
I thought you were the sheep guy.
No, you're the sheep guy.
I see pictures of sheep.
No, you're the sheep guy. That was Doc that you're talking about, and he's up there in Nevada. And yes, I'm gonna be seeing Doc again this spring and spending maybe a month or 2 months with him. He's got a lot of knowledge about old mines. He's been in the business since the 60s and 70s, so it's going to be really cool to hang out with him and go into some really old locations, because he knows all of the vernacular and the terminology in these locations, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Must be nice staying dry, unlike the water tar nuts in the Caribou Hudson. Yeah, it's pretty dry here. Any place to see water, it's just totally filled in. It's probably warm. We've never actually waded in any water. It's pretty dry here. And it's not that bad having water up to your nuts, but when it's freezing cold, it's not that enjoyable.
DR fan. Hey, DR. Glad you came on aboard today to the live show. Always good chatting with you in the comments section. He says, are you afraid that something will collapse? Well, I'm not afraid. I'm aware all the time. You have to have good, situational awareness when you go into these places. You're always observing the back of the mine and the ribs and seeing what's potentially, cracking away, or, what. Yeah, you got to be careful. You have to observe your surroundings and make the best decisions possible.
So that's about coal mines. No, we never go into coal mines. Actually, I did go to a coal mine, but it was kind of an organized tour. But the reason is, you got all kinds of toxic gases in there. You got something called black damp, and you got poisonous, flammable gases, and they're unstable. They're just the worst place to go into. So we would never intentionally go into a coal
mine. MP Gunther says, you ever thought about doing a comedy routine?
No.
You be Laurel and I'll be Hardy. How about that?
Yeah. We're entertaining offers.
Yeah. Mark, Frank, did you bring your drone down to Arizona?
Oh yeah, it's here. So you see a bunch of Gly stuff. That's all my drone footage. So the drone's real cool for looking for stuff. Lots of times we don't even use the footage. We just get it up and then we're looking for, we're in the mine to see if there's top things and you can see cool stuff on them. It's got a really good scouting tool.
So speaking of drones, okay, so here's something I wanted to bring up with you guys. So as my channel grows, of course, I was waiting a long time to get past 1,000 subscribers, and once that happened, then I could monetize, and that's why you're seeing ads on my channel. Now, 100% of any money that I make on this channel goes to the channel. So it goes towards...
After I get my cut, right? You think I'm working for free? All right, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Where was I now? So, so 100% of the money always goes towards the channel. None of it goes into my pocket. So,
who pays for the booze?
Now I made some good steak dinners for you. Shut your pie hole. All right. So, So yeah, so that's what I'm going to use to do and buy cool things like drones and some 360 cameras and stuff like that. Because I'm retired now. I've made my money, and that's I want to use all the money that comes from YouTube to go into this channel just to make the channel better. I want to do things like we're talking about creating some sort of a gin pole boom setup that I can put on the front of old Bob to make it easier to get in and out of vertical shafts and things like that. So as this grows, you're going to start to see cooler and cooler things, cooler cameras and stuff like that. So I really appreciate you guys and all my subscribers, because every time somebody new subscribes, every time somebody watches an advertisement, etc., none of that money's going in my pocket. It's 100% going into the channel, and that's only going to make the channel better.
All company aside, I mean, what we're doing is pretty expensive, and we don't have not working, so we're spend a lot of time on travel, and the equipment's pretty expensive and all that. So the money you get from YouTube and advertising doesn't pay for our expenses.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not something we're doing to make any money at.
No, and it goes towards fuel for the Jeep and stuff like that. So.
Well, mine can't edible. Well, the Chinese say anything with 4 legs except for the table is good to eat. Well, rattlesnakes supposed to be good to eat. I don't know. We haven't eaten any yet, so
So Chris Farland says, are modern gold mines mostly open pit? Yes. So when MSHA and OSHA regulations kicked in hard and heavy in the late 80s, that's when most mines converted over to open pit operations. And not only that, open pit is a lot safer. And with the advent of new technologies of earth moving equipment, there's really no need to go tunneling underground anymore. You can rip off that overburden in a short period of time to get to the ore bodies, and that's why most everything these days is open pit.
There are, of the mines, underground mines that are operating today are being operated that pretty much all of them would be gold mines because it's high value, ore or something. I mean, I don't think there'd be any place in the world that they would be mining copper, by tunneling underground, because it's just so expensive to do that. So, there's places in South Africa and back in Ontario, there's I think a mine that's 8,000 feet down or something that's still being operated. That's gold, but it's rare to have underground operations. Most everything's on the surface now.
Right. Joseph Moore says, what is the coolest thing that you've ever found in a mine? I would say for me, since I started this channel, the coolest thing so far is finding that ring-tailed mine cat. That's pretty neat. I haven't seen anything like that before.
So Smiley Pete asks about what camera can you lower down the vertical shaft. There's no problem. I got a big handle on my camera. We just take the climbing rope and we do that sometimes and just lower it down the shaft and just turn around and see if there's any cross cuts rather than having to go down, because lots of times you look down the bright light and it looks like at the bottom there may be a cross cut going over, but lots of times you just go down there and it only goes a few feet. So sometimes we'll actually take a lower camera down there. You can do that with any camera.
Jethro Nomer says he's from Victoria, Australia. Hey fellas, love your work. Your mines are very easy to find in the desert. In the forest of Northeast Victoria, you can be within meters and not know where they are. Yeah, and the same thing goes for like the mines in Northern California. There's a lot of foliage up in there, tall pine trees, etc., and those are hard to find too in that region. But old Justin at TBR, he does a real good job at it. So, yep.
Crow's Nest Pass, Alberta. Yeah, I was at Blairmore there, and there was a coal mine there, so they took me in for a little tour there, and we'll be doing it next year or something. It was not crazy awesome, but that's the only coal mine I've ever been to. There's one there. Around Frank, actually, there was a place called Frank. They had a huge slide there, wiped out the whole town, killed out many people. And Blairmore, then don't see how unstable areas are in coal and stuff. It buried the whole town.
Michael S says, "Are mine cats edible?"
Yeah, I answered that. I said,
did you? Okay.
Everything's edible.
Oh, that's right. Okay, gotcha.
Except the table. Yeah. It's got 4 legs. What time of day can someone contact you? Well, the problem is on the desert, we got really horrible communications here. I mean, Gly's got a satellite link up here. The internet really sucks here. You can spotty phone service. So, try phoning someone whenever. So if may or may not get an answer, you never know.
If this live broadcast isn't coming in crisp and clear, guys, it's because I use a HughesNet satellite uplink, the big 2-foot or 3-foot diameter dish on a tripod. And that's how I can get internet out of locations that don't have internet or don't even have any power. So, but unfortunately, this signal right now is being beamed into space and back down to you guys, and that's why it's a little bit grainy.
I don't know. It always seems funny to me. We're in a trailer park here, and there's a fiber optic network that goes right underneath. There's a big fiber optic line that goes right through. Yet nobody in Arizona seems to have fiber optics. I've got it out in the country, and Grand Forks had it for years, so I know we took it for granted. It's funny. You'd think it's real surprising to me. I would think that all these places have fiber optic service, but they don't.
Night Waves USA says, what was the most remote mine that you've ever been to?
Well, I've been to Antioch, so that's a remote. I mean, it's 60 miles from the nearest road, so that's pretty remote.
Since I started this channel, mine would be probably episode. That was the premiere, episode 1 and part 1 and part 2. I had to hike 6 miles back in to get to that mine. Yeah, that was a good hike.
Me and my father helped maintain Belleville underground mine. Lots of interesting stuff not in the tour. Yeah, the tour doesn't go in very far. It only goes in, I think, maybe a couple 100 feet into the mine. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. But that's a huge mine. I mean, there's miles, tunnels, but they don't let people in there, obviously.
Kenneth Moore says, so when we start mining in space, do you think you'd be interested in filming those?
I don't think the YouTube revenue would pay for the plane ticket.
Scott Logan. Hi, guys. Keep up the great work. A lot of history you're recording that will be lost. Tour channel is both very informative and entertaining. Cheers, Scott in Australia. Yeah, hey, thanks, Scott. We appreciate it. And just yesterday when I was filming the location, I mentioned that because this location that we were filming is really popular. Everybody knows about it. It's right next to a popular off-road vehicle trail and hiking trails, so it's no mystery. But the cool thing about it is Frank was able to get inside that mine and do some filming. So now when people go out there, of course, the BLM has the main portal closed. But now when people go out there, they can go to that video and see what's inside. So in a way, I suppose we're doing a community service.
So that was the Belleville mine we were in, right?
That was the Tonopah Belmont mine.
The interesting thing about that, and we're just kind of guessing on this, but they put a huge gate in the main portal so you can't get in there. And the way it works is that there's only about 200 feet of drifting there, and then there's a huge shaft that goes down. You throw a rock in there, and it just doesn't. It goes and goes and goes. And I was able to get into that by going through a stope, roping down a shaft, going into that. And they've got that blocked off, but you can get around that pretty easy and rope down to that. And we're thinking, we don't know for sure. The reason is probably people maybe disposed of bodies in that shaft because such a big shaft. It was easy to drive up there and throw somebody in there. I don't know if it ever happened before, but they might have been having to look for missing people in that shaft because that's a possibility. So I'm almost thinking this one of the very few ones that's blocked off around here like that. And I'm thinking maybe that's the reason. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's an interesting theory.
Mm-hmm. And guys, so on our channels, if we give out the name, it's because it's a really popular mine. Like I was saying, everybody knows about it. It's no mystery. The BLM knows about it, et cetera, et cetera. But there are locations that we do keep hush hush and quiet because they're so pristine, and that's why we start filming just the interior only. To try to protect the site, because there are individuals out there that like to do nefarious things, and we do our best to keep that from happening because of what we do on our channels.
So we'd like to give out the name if we possibly can, but if we think that by us doing that, we know BLM watches all our shows and stuff because they're always looking for locations that could be a hazard to the public or whatever other reason they have for blocking things off. So we don't want to be working for them guys, so we don't want to give anything away to them, but we'd still like just to share as much history as we can about the mines as we can with you guys too.
Yeah.
What's the best urban mine that you've seen? Well, typically that if something is really close to a big city or something like that, they would definitely be blocking it off. It's just so let's say you wouldn't really see many good urban mines that be on private property, more likely than not, and be blocked off and stuff. So yeah, it's almost an oxymoron, good urban mine.
James Burke says, Gly, how's your physical health been doing lately? I know that you were not doing well at one time. Yeah, real quick. I'll just jump into it real fast without getting too long-winded. So it was like 2015, 2016. I ended up getting cancer. I spent the latter part of 2016 into 2017 going through chemotherapy. 6 months of it. It completely destroyed my body and ended up giving me terrible neuropathy. And then I spent all of the rest of 27 and 2018 doing physical therapy, trying to overcome the neuropathy. I could hardly walk. I could hardly get out of the chair. And that's when I started this channel, because I was using this channel not only to explore abandoned mines, which is something I really enjoy doing, but it was also acting to me as like physical therapy. And so now it's 1 year later, and I'm climbing hills, I'm walking up mountains, I'm going into abandoned mines. I would say I'm probably 90 to 95% of the man that I used to be.
That's the short answer. I can give it to you way quicker. Now he's fine physically. He's got some major mental issues.
Hey, it's here in the comment section. Inquiring minds want to know. There you go. All right. Oh yeah. Okay, John. Wait. Excellent, Puma. Cancer survival story. Yeah, fist bump, man. That's right. Stacy. Let's see. Derek McLennan, Doc and his infamous exploring sandals. Yeah. He is a treasure, guys. I mean, that man is just full of knowledge. He
explores mines and flip-flops?
Yeah, in flip-flops. Doc is like the 73-year-old version of Jeff Williams. That's what he's like. He's a cool dude. You know. Trevor Booth says, "Hi, yeah, it's grainy, all right, but we can hear you okay."
Where they go, some people can't hear you. So
yeah, it's the best I can do, guys. It when you're in these remote areas, you
wouldn't want that good of a picture, anyways. We're not that good looking.
No, look at. Are you kidding me?
I shut it off by now. But it's a good picture.
I have a face only a mother could love. Who would want a better image of this thing?
How many women you had down mines, Frank? I don't keep track of that. What everyone I've ever taken down a mine, I brought back up. That's all I know.
Yeah, but was she the same? She's probably.
It's fun taking women in the mine.
She's probably in therapy right
now. Which one are you referring
to? Oh boy. Okay, so while we're waiting for more fun comments to scroll up on the screen, the reason that we're here today doing this live show is we want to tell you guys about tomorrow's big collaboration, 4-part collaboration episodes that are coming up. So part 1 is going to air on Frank's channel tomorrow morning at 6.
This is probably going to be the best stuff that you've seen on either of our channels.
Yeah,
we're really proud of this.
I put a lot of work, like 70+ hours into this thing, and I really put my heart and a whole lot of love into it. So part 1 will air on Frank's channel, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard, then part 2 on my channel 15 minutes later. Then fast forward 1 week, part 3 on Frank's channel, and then part 4 on my channel. And it's real easy to find the link to our channels. It's going to be down in the description area. And the thumbnails for the collaboration episodes are they pretty much stick out like a sore thumb. You'll be easy to find. It'll say collaboration part 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So be sure to watch them. I believe it's some of our best work, and it is. We went into a really cool mine. It took us like 3-4 days to document this location, and it was pretty cool. Yeah.
So getting back to women and mines. So my girlfriend, she's really keen on climbing. So she's coming down on the 2nd of January. We got a bunch of really deep shafts and stuff that we want her to go down. Well, we're going to go with her. So I don't know about Glide. Maybe be the top guy, but I'll be the bottom guy. Oh no, we're taking her. Maybe she's not going to come now.
You better be quiet.
Anyway, she's really keen up. She's really keen on ropes and stuff, and just loves going down some of this deep stuff. So we're going to do some much stuff with her. So that'd be really cool. So. She got no fear. She'll just go straight down, does some of them big black holes, and got another set of gear and everything for her. So that'll be kind of cool. That'll get us into some places that we know people haven't been in for sure.
Excellent, Puma. Coffee cup for collaboration. I guess that's something I didn't think of. A collaboration coffee cup. Yeah, I think
a beer mug would be better.
Yeah, we could. That's a good idea.
Oh,
hey, Doc's online. There he is. Doc is Desert Rat. Thanks, thanks, Gly and Derek for the compliments. Hey, Doc, I'm glad you jumped on board, and I'm really looking forward to spending time with you this spring. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Hi guys, you guys two are awesome together. Do you have any plans to head back to BC after the winter? Yeah, I've got to be out of the country by the 10th of March, so be heading back and beginning of March, I guess, or something. Then, so we're going to plan on coming back and doing a whole bunch of stuff together in Nevada, probably starting in about August because it takes that long for the snow to get melted, and I'm busy doing hay and stuff, so we'll be doing a bunch more stuff next year. But we got so much stuff shot. I mean, you might not even notice any difference because you shoot a bunch of stuff and then it takes a long time to edit and it just keeps coming out. So yeah, but you guys will still be watching stuff that I've done in Arizona, and I'll be up in Nevada, doing recording areas. So I'm pushed out incredibly far. I've got so much footage to edit. It's really hard to say what the future holds for us too, because we've had a producer up from LA. We took him underground, and we talked to other producers and stuff. And that happens on and off anyway. So it's never really. So you never know what's around the corner, or what might be in the future for sure.
George King says, "Hey guys, you two are awesome together. Do you have any plans to head back to BC after this winter?" And yep, that's what you just explained. So, and someday I would like to get up there myself. Frank and I've been talking about it. It probably won't happen this summer, but maybe next, something like that. I definitely want to get up in there and get into some of those wet mines. And of course, I'm going to have to make a lot of modifications to my camera equipment because my equipment's not designed for dripping water.
Don't take your girlfriend down the Glory Hole mine. We were just in the Glory Hole mine the other day. I was saying, geez, I thought it'd be a lot pinker, It was black.
No comment.
It's true. There's a mine called the Glory Hole.
Yeah, we were in the Glory Hole mine
together. No, nothing happened.
No. Okay.
What are your thoughts about removing artifacts? I suppose in a wet mine like Frank explores in BC, they've rotted away eventually. I don't know. So that is a touchy topic, and I think that people should remove artifacts out of mines because BLM is just basically closing them off. They're getting caved out or whatever, and this stuff is rotting or rusting or whatever. And I've bought a whole bunch of stuff in my museum off of eBay. So people that found something in mines or had something, so we're able to get it in museums. I did a show one time. There was a really old hit and miss motor that was underground, and the guy saw that. He took it out, cleaned the whole thing up, restored it. He's got it running. And I think, kudos to him. And the damn thing would just been rusting, And I think the people that bitch about people taking artifacts out of mines are just jealous because they want it to be there. They want to take it themselves or see it. So I don't have a problem with it. I think people should remove stuff from mines, and we donated some stuff to museums, and I have a museum, so we're trying to preserve it for for the next generation and clean this stuff up and save it. So I don't see nothing wrong with it.
And we've even donated some stuff to the local mining museum here in Baus, Arizona too. So yeah, I agree with Frank. It's a touchy subject. But he explained it well. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, and you're really in these mines here in Arizona. There's a lot of people that go to these mines. There's virtually nothing in them. Unless you get way down into them, they're pretty. There's been so many people who's visited and taken that stuff out of. There's virtually, very very few artifacts in them. In BC, I mean, it's completely different. I mean, there's like cases of explosives in some areas, and every other mine there's be cases of explosives and all kinds of stuff left. So there's not really that much to argue about here in Arizona anyhow.
So George King here says, "Wish we could see behind the scenes footage. You two are a hoot together." Well, we are. We have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of stuff that antics that we do that you guys will never see on camera. And I'll give you an example. Well, Frank got me pretty good with the cave cricket, and then I got him back, and you'll see that here in an upcoming video. I'm not going to reveal it because that was a lot of fun too. And then yesterday, now this wasn't on camera, so I parked the Jeep in such a way where he thought I was going to back up because we were on top of this waste rock pile, and he jumps in the Jeep, and he thinks that I'm going to back up and turn around, but instead I just dove the Jeep straight off the end of the waste rock pile, and he screamed, yelled,
I go, whoa!
"Stop!"
I was driving right over it.
So I got him pretty good, and that's paybacks.
I got you better the day before though.
Yeah,
He's going across this real skinny board, man. He's going across. He's thinking light thoughts, and I start jumping on the back of the board.
Here I am. I'm walking across a false floor, being held up by a 10-foot tall, 100-year-old ladder. Okay, I'm thinking light thoughts, and he's jumping up and down on the board.
It was only like a 10-foot.
I know, but
we only broke one leg. What a drag that.
So yeah, no, guys, we have a lot of fun out there. It's a good time.
With the waterproof camera, like when I was in Antioch, it was really wet there, so I bought this fancy suit or so they put over top of the cameras and make them for cameras and keep the water out of it, and it wrecked the camera almost instantly because the condensation kept all the moisture in it. So, so I haven't found that to be particularly useful. So. Yeah, it's difficult, when it's a wet, damp environment. It's tough on cameras, and we don't have that here, so we're lucky. I don't even have a good bag for my camera because everything stays clean. It's actually it's a lot easier operating in this environment than what I'm used to.
And as you guys know, I use a lot of gimbals in my equipment, and that's what keeps all the shots, smooth and steady. But if you get one little drop of water into the electronic gimbal mechanism, it's shot. The camera just dies immediately. So I'm going to have to rig something special for those wet mines if I ever go up to BC.
Yeah, with artifacts, if you guys are interested in artifacts, there's a couple really cool places that I've been to. There's a place called, in Arizona, there's a place called Robson. You can look for that, Google it. And there's another place called Vulture City. And, beautiful collections of artifacts and stuff, and you can go see them there.
Kim says, glory hole of gold. Laughing out loud, you two, your minds instantly go together when you mention the glory hole.
There's kind of a practical reason why we're traveling together and filming these mines. I mean, it's a lot easier and safer to have someone with you. We're in pretty remote locations in the back of nowhere, and just a lot more enjoyable going with a friend or whatever to do that. And that's the problem I was at in BC. And we says, why don't you take someone with you? Well, people are working, they're busy doing stuff, so we both have time to do this. So it's kind of working out really good for both of us.
So James Burke says you guys should make a blooper video pranking each other.
We put all that online. If it's recorded, we're usually not shy about making us look stupid because we don't care. So, yeah.
And Andy Amo says, Frank getting scared on some crazy off-roading? I don't believe it. Yeah, well, you needed to be there because...
Well, I had him pretty scared too because we're out the side-by-side. And it'll go down a real steep thing. It'll go just about upside down. And that doesn't look too steep.
Yeah. And the side-by-side is tipping, and I'm hanging off the side.
I do that just to look at him and see him look on his face. It's pretty funny.
And then, you know what else he'll do? We'll be going down the 2-track, and he swerves towards cholla cactuses.
Yeah, that's funny. He's got his hand out, and all of a sudden swerves towards cactus. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we should have time for that.
Yeah, we should get that on film one of these days. That's funny.
No, those are the nastiest cactus. They look nice. They look like those teddy bear cactuses. They got real sharp spines, and they go in real easy. But then as soon as they go in, when there's something wet, then they curl. And then so you got to rip up suckers out. They're really hard to rip out. They're really nasty cactuses. And that's why I've always got a Leatherman with me because, if you ever did get bit real bad with by one of those, you'd have about 50 little spines there. You'd have to take a Leatherman and rip each one out. It'd be pretty painful.
Shaycaster says they should Wonder Hussy herself. Yeah.
Him and Chris are in love with Wonder Hussy. I know they've been writing her letters all the time. They know how many boyfriends they have and all these. Anything you want to know about the Wonder Hussy sex life, ask them. They've got it all fully researched.
If we took Wonder Hussy on one of these adventures, we wouldn't get any filming done, guys. So
you guys don't know what Wonder Hussy is. She's got a YouTube channel and lives in the Las Vegas area and kind of explores abandoned places. I don't think she goes to the mine so much, but she's
Yeah, she does.
Very attractive. I don't know, humorous.
She's a very attractive
what else
model.
Yeah,
that
stripper or something. Yeah, I don't
documents.
Know. She's been lots of fun.
Yeah, she does a lot of exterior documents, a lot of exterior stuff. It's a cool channel. It is. Let's see.
But we don't have any room in the Jeep, eh? So the Jeep's only got 2 seats in the show. You'd have to sit on someone's lap. You know how uncomfortable that would be.
Oh boy. Okay. Small glue. Kenneth Moore says glue with paper works well with the smaller cactus barbs.
They ain't gonna work on that shit all day.
Not on the no. I mean, if you don't have a Leatherman or some sort of a pliers to pull out the cholla cactuses from you, the best thing to do is to pick up 2 rocks and pinch it between 2 rocks and pull it out of you that way.
If you got stuck on your shirt or something, you can't grab your hand and pull it off. It'll just be stuck right in your. That's the most nastiest thing. It's got an outer and an inner. The inner is just like a needle. It's just really sharp. Like I say, it curls around. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to pull them out. They're tough.
Yep. Let's see.
Well, you need to take Frank. You need to take Gly up to Antioch. That place is amazing. I know that's a very tough place to get into, and it's just I don't know. We've been there 4 times, so we've documented everything we need to document. It's a lot of work. It's not worth the effort, I don't think. The only way we go back up there is if a network or something wanted to pay us to go up in there and do something. It's tough. There's
some places up there that would be, you'd really want to like helicopter into, something like that. That would be a lot of fun. Eventually, we might put something together. We'll see what happens.
It's one of the toughest locations to get into, and it's pretty much pouring rain, and and the mines are like 4 or 5 feet of water and full of mud, and it's tough going there.
Let's see. Peter S says, Wonder Hussy isn't into the inside of mines. She's just more into the camp and the mill remains. Yeah, she does have a good channel. She does good work. What else we have here?
Well, we were going to go to Quartzsite, get some groceries.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Yep. So
we've bored these guys long enough.
Yep. I think we've talked everybody's head off long enough. So one more time before we leave out of here, just let everybody know about tomorrow's collaboration 4-part episode. So tomorrow, part 1 begins on Frank's channel at 6 a.m. Pacific. Then part 2 on my channel, 15 minutes later. Then 1 week later, part 3 on Frank's channel at 6 a.m. Pacific, and part 4 on my channel, 15 minutes later. So be sure to catch it, guys. It's some of our best work, and we put a lot of time and effort into a mine. It was like 3 or 4 days of filming, and we think you're really going to enjoy it.
Well, so if you enjoy these live broadcasts or something, subscribe to our channels and then hit the notification icon. They'll tell you when they're on, and give us a thumbs up, and we can do some more if you enjoy doing that kind of stuff. We have like 77 people online right now, so that's pretty good. Your channels will get less than 4,000 subscribers. To have that many people is great. So we enjoyed the support, and thanks for joining us.
Yep, thanks for coming along, guys. This was a lot of fun, and we'll see you next time. Take care.